Hi guys, it's Fee from Fit a Mother here, and I've got a slightly different workout for you now. All you need is a chair. So a lot of us are finding that we're spending a lot more time at the moment sitting down, perhaps at a desk or an office space that isn't necessarily set up to maximum use if you're working from home. So a lot of us are either hunched over our laptops or balancing on knees. We're just not maximising our space, and that will often result in tension across the back of the shoulders and really poor posture. This is going to be 10 minutes just to reset, some lovely mobility moves, some nice stretching in there, but you can still get a workout in sitting down. So if you are on a chair, ideally you want a chair with no arms, just so that you're not encumbered, but it will work with whatever you've got. I just want you to scoot towards the edge of your chair, okay, so that we're not leaned back and rounding through the spine. So just come to the edge of your chair so that your feet are flat on the floor. If you can't get your feet flat on the floor, then by all means pop a little shoebox or some books underneath, just so that you've got a good solid base. We're going to start off with some nice stretches. We're going to do some mobilisations, mainly predominantly working through the top of the body, but a little bit of leg work in there as well, and then finishing off with some more stretches to end the routine with. So sitting up nice and tall, lengthening up through the spine. Just think about gently drawing your belly button in towards your back. I want you to just roll your shoulders all the way up towards your ears, draw them down and back so the shoulders are pulled down and your chest is open. And I want you to let your arms just go heavy here for a moment as you drop your neck down onto one side, down as if you're trying to get the ear towards the shoulder without that shoulder coming up. You should get a really lovely stretch just through the side of your neck here. So you don't have to spend 10 minutes doing your seated exercises. Even just 2 or 3 minutes per day throughout the course of the day will really help you reset. Let's come across to the opposite side. It's such a nice one to do this because, as I've mentioned before, across the back of our shoulders is where we hold a lot of our tension, and it's where we can really start to notice our posture dropping, coming back up, and then looking forwards. Now I want you to just gently float your arms up overhead, coming all the way up to the top, sitting up nice and tall, still not slouching back. Fingertips are pointed. In fact, I'm going to scoot my chair back a little further, and we're just going to come into a little side flexion on the side here. Now you might not get down too far, but you should feel a nice stretch through your rib cages here. If you can't get your arms all the way up, feel free to have them bent out to the side, whatever feels good for you. And coming in here, then back to centre again. This time I want you dropping your arms down, and you're just going to start rolling those shoulders up towards the ears and coming into a little forwards bend. Just being mindful to keep that core switched on, so belly button back towards your spine. And I just want you to let your arms go heavy here and dangle down. Now you might feel that you can come and bring your fingertips towards the floor, but don't worry if you can't, just let them go heavy. Crown of your head is leading down here, and then just a nice little stretch all the way through the back. Good stuff. As we slowly pull up, I want you to think about using your abdominals to help pull you back up, so really engaging those core muscles. Keep the arms heavy, slowly lifting back up. As we come up to a more upright position, I want you to float your arms out in front of you, a bit like a zombie. And then I want you to open up nice and wide, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and we're going to come into a little torso rotation here. This is such a nice one to do, to work through, all the way through the spine, the spinal rotation. You want to keep your arms at about shoulder height. If you can see your reflection, just make sure that both arms are about the same height. Rotating around, coming back to centre, letting them float down, and again just resetting, rolling their shoulders up and back. Good. So hopefully already you're feeling a little bit more mobile, especially through the shoulders. From here we're going to come into a little bit more of a workout. So I want you to bring your arms out to the side, and I want you to bring one hand over the top. Don't worry if you can't get your hand to touch your arm, that's fine, but I want the arms doing the work rather than us bending our bodies into it. So our bodies stay nice and tall and our arms come up and do the work. Good. Really nice just to start to use these shoulder muscles, these back muscles, instead of being in that hunched over position all the time. We're opening out through the chest as well. Let's do a couple more each side. 1, 1, 2, and 2. Then bringing the arms out in front of you. I want you coming into some shoulder taps. So I'm just going to turn to the side here. I'm still sitting up nice and tall, keeping my posture. My elbows aren't dropping down, so I'm not bringing them all the way down. I'm keeping those arms high, and I'm just coming into a double shoulder tap here. So keep going with these, all the while thinking about squeezing that core in ever so slightly. Good. Couple here. If you wanted to, you could have some little light weights by your side, cans of beans from the cupboard, whatever you've got going on, but you can totally get the muscles warmed up without having to add any weight in here. Good. Let's do a few more of these for 2 and 1. Float the arms down, reset the shoulders. This time we're going to come out to the side. We're going to draw one elbow up to help us get a real nice reach in. So you want to keep your fingertips spread open at this point, so you've got nice active hands, and we're reaching out as far as you're comfortable with. How good does that feel? I know that I always feel really stiff and uncomfortable if I've had to sit at my laptop for any length of time. It's not what I like to do, it's not where I'm comfortable, but unfortunately that is where a lot of us spend our days. So just being able to do a few of these lovely stretches and mobilizations really does make a difference. Let's do one more on each side. Reaching out and reaching out, sitting up nice and tall, always resetting and rolling those shoulders back down. Anytime throughout the point of the day, if you feel those shoulders starting to creep up, just come into a couple of shoulder rolls. You can go in all directions, you can go with doubles, you can bring your hands onto your shoulders, whatever works for you. So we're going to start to warm up through midway through our spine now. We've warmed up the shoulders. So I'm just going to turn sideways on so you can see what I'm doing. Bringing your arms out wide again. I want us dipping the top half of our back in and bringing the backs of our hands together. Squeezing that core in as we do so, dipping your chin in towards your chest. And you're just trying to round through the top half of your back. It is such a lovely, lovely move, this one. It's like a ripple, a nice wave effect. So squeeze that core in, drop the chin to the chest, and then as you open up, let's come a little bit more exaggerated with our movements now and push that chest forwards. Good. Perfect, a few more here. Keep going with these. If you like these ones, you can go a little bit longer for 2 and 1. Otherwise, come back around. Just make sure that you haven't shifted back, you're not starting to slouch. So coming back towards the edge of your chair again, and then rolling and resetting those shoulders. Coming into a little bit of footwork here. I just want us toe tapping out to the side, toe tapping out to the side. Trying to do this without, again, shifting our body or moving in our seats. We're staying nice and tall. The core engaged, we're coming out to the side. So we're working through our side glutes, our hip flexors, good, and our thighs. So just keep going. You can take these really slowly, or you can speed them up. Good. And it's surprising you can get warm sitting down, okay? I do want us to get those muscles nice and warm and feel like we're still getting a workout even though we're not leaving our chair. Good. Keep going here. For 2 and 1, coming back in. This time you're going out to the front, out to the front. So I'm doing this with my hands just because you can't see what my feet are doing. You don't have to incorporate the feet movement, the arm movement, sorry. So keep tapping forwards, and you could do this, right, when you are, if you're on conference calls, if you're, I don't know, if you're very talented, maybe as you're tapping away at the keyboard, just move. All movement counts. Good. 2 and 1, and this time we're coming into knee lifts. Now, just as we would do high knees, as we are sat down, as we're standing up, we can do them as we're sitting down, making sure though that we're not coming down to make the knees are coming up to meet us. Good. Again, you can go slower here, or you can go quicker, just tapping it up. Good. You can get a step count in, even if you're sitting down. Perfect stuff. Good. A couple more of these for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reset, relax. We're going to come into some stretches. So I want you rolling those shoulders back again, dropping them down to the side, just one arm coming all the way down this time. And then as you lean down, I want you bringing this other arm up overhead to the point where you're comfortable. It might be here, it might be further this way. You should feel a lovely stretch through your rib cage. Let's hold it here. Good. Letting this arm go heavy. When you're ready, sitting back up, floating this arm down and letting this one go heavy on this side. And then if it feels good for you, bring this arm up and over to get that nice stretch through the waist. Good stuff. Holding it here. And then when you're ready, sitting up nice and tall again, you're going to swing both of your arms onto one side and then you're going to turn and face in the opposite direction. So you should get a lovely stretch down through the front of your, or down through the side of your neck, just into the front of your chest here. The further you can bring those hands back, or the further you can twist around, the more of a stretch you're going to get, but just go with what's comfortable for you. Are you feeling warm? Hopefully you are. Good. When you're ready, swing the arms onto the opposite side again, turning and facing the opposite direction. Hips stay facing forwards the whole time though, okay? Let's hold it here. Good stuff. Coming back to centre, just like we did at the start, rolling the shoulders up towards our ears, tucking the chin into the chest, folding at the waist, coming into a nice slow roll down. Let those arms go heavy. Feels good for you here, you can just twist slightly. Let those arms dangle side to side. It's a nice one to just ease off your lower spine, the base of your back. Lovely. And then when you're ready, bring those hands back to centre, slowly peeling up. Remember to try and use those abdominals to help draw you back in. Keep the arms heavy and the chin tucked in until you're almost up. Roll those shoulders, chest open, drop the chin to the chest. We're going to come into some lovely shoulder rolls. You can close your eyes here if you want to. Come in all the way around, rotating the neck in one direction. Just paying attention if there's any areas that feel a little bit more stiff. You can hold it there if you need to. Back down to the centre and then coming around in the opposite direction. All the while sitting up nice and tall, being mindful of your posture, keeping those arms heavy, those shoulders pulled down away from your ears. Good. All the way around, back to centre, and then looking up again. Good. Just finish off with a couple of loose little shoulder rolls. I like to go individually at this stage in both directions just to reset, and hopefully you're feeling a little bit more fluid, a little bit more mobile, you've loosened up. You can do any combination of those. So if you get stiff through the hip flexors, just take it into the leg work. If you really feel it across the back of the shoulders, even if you just do the stretches as opposed to the shoulder taps, there is loads of options. Just keep moving. I promise you, you will feel all the better for it. Nice work, team. Let me know how you got on.